This video will not make any sense to outsiders. If you do not know a decent amount of context, do not make assumptions or statements relating to this. Also, this is drama content and it is not encouraged or condoned in any way on any of my social medias. This video should have never been posted, but some people took things way too far. Any form of drama breaks a major channel rule and will be removed in future situations. Future harassment of any party is not condoned, and this will be mentioned once again at the end. For transparency, all past comments are documented and archived, while all original content and statements remain. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back, but this video is not the same. I am here to address something that has been quite obviously brought to my attention by multiple different sources, because apparently I have been smack-talked behind the scenes for what I have said in my most recent video. First of all, before I even explain what happened, I must address who this comment specifically addresses, or who it was meant to address in the first place. The video in question was originally meant towards the wrong audience. I did not intend for this video to meet some people's eyes who went to my school. I did mention at one point there would be some kind of mention of it inside of my school premises because some people from my school do watch my content, but I would not expect them to come from the team itself or from anyone directly on the team. For a little bit of context, the comment made in question was at 1 minute and 40 seconds of my most recent video. The person who originally started people getting on my back over this, they originally thought that I had directed my focus of the comment towards the entire team as a whole. This is not true. This comment was not directed at the varsity or the coaches, but rather it was more directed at the junior varsity team and the kids who are involved in my grade. Upperclassmen on the JV team are none of my concern and barely interact with me outside of basketball, so therefore I had no intentions of causing them any slander. This is a recording of the footage that I used and the audio clip that was put with it in my video editor to make sure that nothing is left unsaid. Last month I've been doing all kinds of school stuff. I managed to quit the basketball team because it sucked for me, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of hate from people who know me at school and are going to be like, "Oh, man, why would you quit the basketball team? You're such a little nerd. How come?" I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The team stunk, and they're only finally waking up once they realize that 3 people had to quit, and now they're actually like doing good practices and actually winning games, and I'm not going back. This clip originally sounds pretty decently bad. I did directly say that I dislike something, and there's no context beyond that. And normally, I don't have to provide context for something like this because I don't have to expect the original group of people to come after me and say that I am quote in trouble and someone's going to hear about this. I generally like to make content that pokes fun at some people, and I do it even to people in activities that I love. I made a band video poking fun at some of the underclassmen in band, and obviously none of them saw it, but I mean, I'm still justified in what I said. I'm not wrong. I'm not lying about people and spreading misinformation. Returning to YouTube was something I wanted to do for a while, and I had to completely lock in to do so. I have been planning to come back to YouTube ever since I had such a bad start to January as a whole. I only got to publish so many videos because of a lack of motivation and also a full lack of time due to dedication to other school activities. I had completely forgotten to make a video by the time February came around, and so I had to suddenly make one in the matter of a few hours. In total, the video was rushed, and I didn't take any time to edit besides large cuts for audio, which I had to eyeball. I had no script, I had no bullet points, I didn't even have a thought process. I just went on with saying stuff for a total of 8 minutes before I eventually decided to call it quits and get it finalized and published. I took no steps to make sure that any of the content was somewhat offensive or to make sure that I hadn't accidentally said something personal or derogatory. I did mention to some outside sources that I didn't have time to edit in images that I originally wanted to have in to emphasize jokes that were made. However, this was not going to be the concern at all. I personally feel like what I said was justified. Now I want you to hear me out in every single way possible before you start making assumptions and leave this forever. I think I might have been a little harsh in my wording, personally. I will not change my opinion on my time or the state of the basketball team. I expected way more, especially with all of the hype that they had behind the scenes. Some games were completely fair that we lost due to complete outskill and outnumbering. Others were completely our game and we completely fumbled. I moved on because I felt it was a waste of my time. I spent my entire summer at school and working on basketball instead of working on my personal passion project, going to summer camps, and even getting a job, which I still don't have money from, or anything else. I spent all that time to be shifted from a position I grew up playing to relearn how to play somewhat of a random position from scratch. And once I finally got the hang of it, nobody cared to look for me. I went from becoming a starter player to sitting on the bench 99.9% of the time. I'm not accusing the coaches of anything. This is just what I noticed, and I have no idea what the coaches originally wanted because I didn't ask beyond an original prompt, which they were vague, and I'm not going to accuse them of anything, but I feel like they could have been a little bit more specific or a little bit more encouraging for me to try and get off the bench. Every single time that I tried to make it to get out of the situation that I was in, where I was getting benched, I went unnoticed. Just so that we are all on the same page, I've received multiple counts of bullying and or harassment from my own teammates that I stuck through, even to catch a glimpse of hope for them to let me be or to be recognized as a team player. A lot of this is in-person stuff and I have absolutely zero proof of. I do have a vouch and at least a few witnesses from people who saw a mouse glue trap put in my hair that was found in a locker room during a game. I was also verbally harassed multiple times and pushed around by my own teammates, and it ruined my season and brought on the idea of quitting in the first place. I couldn't have meant anything crazy to the team because no one tried to go out of their way to work with me as a partner, and only 2 to 3 people came up to give me advice, which I believe I strongly followed, and I'm also pretty sure that when you are on a team, your teammates don't banter you and insult you, let alone go out of their way to insult you on your own personal safe space. Also, finally, to end this section, when I said that the team sucked, I wasn't wrong. The team record right now is currently 4 wins and 15 losses. When I resigned, it was 1 win to 13 or 14 losses, according to our huddle. Even though I'm not retracting my statement, it is not something you're supposed to take to heart. Multiple members said that our record doesn't matter, so why would it matter to you now? Also, from the amount of verbal harassment that I have received over my entire playing time and all of my season time, I don't understand why whenever I say that the team isn't doing well, that everyone would take so much offense to it when you were trying to attack me personally and on a regular basis, just saying that it was all a joke. If I call out that you were losing and then I get shamed for it, was I really the problem? It would be different if it was a winning or a close season, but we had such a bad season in general that my comment stays justified. I didn't say this because I hate everyone or anyone on the team specifically, or I hate the sport in general. My treatment was not acceptable and my time was wasted, along with my motivation to participate in the sport being drained from me. For starters, I will not be rejoining the basketball team in the future. I was considering maybe rejoining next year or the year afterwards if I felt like the team was becoming more positive towards me, or even whenever I got a little bit better at the game or on better terms with my peers and colleagues. But as of right now, I am going to move on from the sport as a whole and not proceed to continue in any sports for my school as of right now. If you're wondering why I don't play football, this is almost the exact same reason, minus the mouse glue trap and also minus $100 from my bank account. If you plan on harassing me in school, I don't understand why. It's my life and my own opinion. Last I checked, I lived in America and I have the freedom to have my own opinions and express them. If you were the original person who started this, please leave me alone and get off of my social medias. I have requested multiple times in my past content for people to leave me alone in person and keep my private life separate from my in-person life. If you truly cared enough to call me man-to-man, make fun of me behind the scenes, or make fun of me in front of my face, what would make it right for you to make fun of me even more or harass me even more after I call you out directly in something that you're already watching? I'm going to still be a full supporter of my school and I will continue to support our teams from the sidelines, including the basketball team. I am not at the basketball game tonight, however, because I am addressing the situation. Being a team player does not mean going out of your way to smack talk or harass your ex-teammate. If you intend on making the space unsafe or toxic with your words, you are not welcome and I request you dismiss yourself or you will be filtered and removed from my communities. If you wish to stick around and move on like I plan to, you are fully welcome to stay, but I doubt that will ever happen. If you still somehow think that I'm wrong and not justified, please take a minute to look at you, yourself, and all of your teammates and observe what you guys do for each other on a regular basis. I don't get to see anymore, but when I was there, that was not a team, and nor was I treated like a teammate. If you are not involved in this situation, please do not go out of your way to find people and harass them or go out of your way to harass me. I will not be answering any questions further on this topic, and this is my final statement. If you care enough, do not bring this up anywhere in person around me, friends, family, or just general colleagues.